Hey everyone, I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and I can't believe that in 2 months it will be 2 years since I got my Gladiator. And just to let you know, I'm still absolutely in love with this rig. It is the best vehicle I've ever had. It's the best off-road vehicle I've ever had, and I absolutely love it. But having it for almost 2 years and just over 51,000 miles, I wanted to go through the different things, the different modifications that I've done, the different gear that I've added, and let you know what's withstood the last really year to 2 years. So I'm only going to focus on the gear that I've had for at least a year, because if I've had it less than that, well, I'm still in the process of, deciding is it going to last. But I've got some stuff on here that I've had from the very beginning that just continues to blow me away of how well it works. And I've made some changes, and some of it I've had for over a year now. We're going to go through that. So hopefully you'll find this interesting, and I've been really impressed with some of this stuff. All right, let's start here at the front and cover the big things. I'm not running the lift that I started with. I started with a rock crawler 3-inch X Factor. Did great until I started adding all the weight from all the overlanding gear and the tent and the rack and all that sort of stuff. And then it really started to sag on the back end. So I switched to fork springs, and it still wasn't doing so hot. So a little over a year ago, I switched to the Clayton Off-Road 3.5-inch premium lift kit. And that is one of the best riding and best performing lift kits I have ever had. It rides great on the highway. It rides incredible off-road. It flexes like crazy. I have zero complaints out of it. My wife has the Overland Plus lift kit on hers. And whereas the premium is supposed to be a little more flexy and have some more articulation compared to the Overland Plus, the Overland Plus does have an advantage in that the joints on the control arms are maintenance free. And these definitely have to get in there and grease them, on a regular basis, just to keep them doing well. Super easy to do and well worth it. But just letting you know, I've got that paired with Elka's adjustable remote reservoir shocks, and I haven't had those for a year yet. So I can't, definitively comment on those other than freaking amazing. I am in love with these shocks, but I'll save that for another video to let you know how they're doing long term, because I've only had them for about 9 months now, so not quite a year yet. All right, let's talk wheels and tires now. I've had the wheels from the very beginning. They are the Vision Manx, and I have no complaints. They have taken a beating. They've got rock rash all around all the edges, but they still hold the bead just fine, and they look good. So I have no complaints with the Vision Manx wheels. The tires, let's talk about the tires. Started with a 37-inch Milestar Patagonia MT, the originals. After about a year, they wore very quickly, which is what the Patagonia MTs, the original ones, were prone to do. And so after just 20,000 miles, it was time to replace those. They had 30 seconds worth of tread left after 20,000 miles, which isn't stellar performance. And Milestar had just released the brand new MT-02, which in the new MT-02, they tweaked the compound to make it do better with on-road performance, to make it wear better and more evenly. And after, I just put these on after 27,000 miles on my first set of 38-inch Patagonia MT-02s. After 27,000 miles, they still had 11 30 seconds worth of tread left. That's pretty freaking awesome. I've never had a Patagonia do that before, and this is now my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th set personally of Patagonias. My wife is running the same tire, and she's got 22,000 miles on hers, and she's still got 30 seconds of tread depth left on hers. So I have no complaints. I did just switch to this one. The original 38-inch MTO2s were C load rating. This one is a D load range, and I've only got a couple thousand miles on these, but I'm liking the difference between the D and the C. The sidewall is definitely stiffer, and you do have to air down more, but it just gives you a firmer ride and less body roll and stuff. So right now, really big fan of the D rating, but overall, the Patagonia MTO2s, it is a legit incredible tire. I love it. Now moving up here, the bumper I've had for about 9 months. The groove Fairlead from Yankum Ropes, had that about 9 months. Loving both of them, but I've only had them for about 9 months. What I have had for a good year and a half now, that it continues to impress the crap out of me, because I wasn't really sure at first, is this winch from Open Road 4-wheel drive. It's their Panther Series 2. It's a 13,000 pound winch, comes with synthetic line. And it's under $500. Comes with wireless remotes. I've put this thing through the test. It's been submerged multiple times. It is waterproof, which is one of the reasons why I wanted it. And it's just performed every single time. I continue to be blown away by this winch and have zero complaints. It just works. So yay for that. Moving over here, let's talk about the snorkel. Started with the Rugged Ridge, their kind of low profile, stealthy snorkel. It was great, but it prevented me from accessing stuff like the battery and the fuse box, and it interfered with my light bar because it replaces this cowl piece, and that's a problem on the JLs and JTs. So after just about a month, I switched it out and got the Safari snorkel from AEV. And it works. I mean, I have no complaints. It works really well. It looks great. It's holding up after almost 2 years of use and banging on trees. I mean, I don't slow down when there's down trees and stuff. This thing has been banged and beat up on, and is doing fantastic. So up next, the KC Highlights Gravity Pro 6 Light Bar. This is the one thing on the Jeep and between all of our Jeeps that we've had the longest. It's lived on 3 different Jeeps now. I think my wife bought it in 2018. I think 2018. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's 5 years old almost, and it's fantastic. The only thing I've changed on it is the brackets that fit on the JLs and JTs. And I mean, it looks good. It puts out a crap ton of light. It doesn't make any wind noise. I mean, if you're gonna get a light bar and you want good looking, you don't want wind noise, it's a really good light bar. So it's fantastic. All right, moving over here to the side, let's talk rock rails that are covered in a whole lot of mud right now. These are the rock rails from Ace Engineering, and they work in conjunction with the factory Rubicon rock rails, and so it kind of gives you double protection. They hang down just below these, and I mean, if you've watched my videos, we've been to Moab, we've been to Colorado multiple times, off-road parks, they've been all over, and they have been beat on, slammed on, trees slammed into them, rocks slammed into them. They've got scratches all up and down it, and as far as a sturdy, beefy, bolt-on rock rail, if you've already got the Rubicon rails, I love these things. And they kick out far enough so you can pivot around trees and rocks, and they make a very nice step for when you need to reach things on top of your vehicle. I can't complain about these at all. They have held up very well, and I've put these on right after I got the Gladiator. All right, so back here in the back of the Jeep, there's been a lot of changes and a lot of stuff that I've done back here. And we'll start with the rack. I started with the Rebel Off-Road half rack. It was a solid rack, but quickly became frustrated with not being able to access gear in the back of the bed very easily. And saw this rack from Extrusion Overland. It's all extruded aluminum. It's modular. The things you can do with it, you are limited by your imagination. And I absolutely freaking love this rack. It changed my joy in going out and living out of my Gladiator, because I can access things from the sides because of the flip up panels. It has mounts for all of my things. It's got the recessed mount for the case here with all my recovery gear, and it's been awesome. There's a lot of bolts to it. So as long as you use the thread locker stuff that they send you, it doesn't rattle. It doesn't come loose. It's a very, very good bed rack that I highly recommend. It's just so cool. Let's talk about this stuff. The drawer slide I've only had for about 6 months. Absolutely love it, but can't really talk about the longevity of it. Propane tank mount, power tank mount for the propane tank. I've had that since I got the Jeep, basically. It's doing great, holding propane tank up. Let's talk about this fridge, because I got this fridge specifically for the Gladiator. It's the Iceco VL75 Pro. And I continue to be blown away by this fridge. It is a true dual zone. And this thing has been running in the back of my Gladiator non-stop for almost 2 years now. It is hardwired to my auxiliary batteries, which I'll get to in a minute. But it's hardwired to my auxiliary batteries, and it doesn't shut off, like, ever. Right now I've got this section set just below freezing. I've got a couple frozen items in there that I wanted to keep slowly dethaw, but keep kind of frozen. And then this side I've got all my fridge stuff here. It's set to 34 degrees. And what I love about it is the lids. You can open it very easily from both sides. You can take the lid off very easily. And no other fridge will do that. The Icecos come with a 5-year warranty on their compressor. So I'm almost 2 years into the lifespan of the compressor on this thing, as far as the warranty coverage goes. And it runs nonstop, and it lives here in the back of the Gladiator. It gets all the elements. You can see it's now covered in dust from my recent trip. It gets somewhat rained on. It has snow. The tent does act as kind of a umbrella for it, but it still gets exposed to all the elements, and high temps in the summertime, freezing temps in the wintertime. And it has been an incredible fridge, and I'm still blown away. Living in the back of the Gladiator with all the stuff that I have put this thing through, it's still just rocking and rolling. So it's awesome. Let's talk about the slide. This is the kitchen slide from Global Road Outdoors. I very much like this. Now this, it lives in the back of the Gladiator. It gets dusty and it gets dirty. I mean, you can see, but it's holding up incredibly well. It's got the big 75-liter fridge on it. It just keeps on working. I do periodically clean out the rails, because it does live in the back of the Gladiator, and it's never come out. It's bolted to the bed. So I do clean the rails from time to time, re-grease them, that sort of thing, just to keep it going. But it's been fantastic. I love it. All right, let's talk about the tent, because I have been living out of this a lot in the last 2 years, and it has held up incredibly well. It is from Global Road Outdoors, same company that makes the kitchen slide, and it is their Sidekick 1. It's their smaller Sidekick. It's a full-size bed, fits great on the on the short bed of the mid-size pickups, and it's held up. It's been in intense winds. It's had 8 inches of snow on top of it, and it did not collapse. It comes with an insulation kit It comes with an awning that I never use. It comes with lighting, both inside and outside here. And for a value, for a hard shell rooftop tent, you just can't beat it. It, it, it just works so well. Now, I did replace the mattress in it because there's not a hard shell rooftop tent that has a comfortable mattress. Prove me wrong. So I did replace the mattress with a 4.5-inch thick inflatable memory foam mattress from Lost Horizon, and that's the most comfortable mattress I've ever slept on. It's better than my bed at home, and I just love sleeping in this setup. It just does so well, and I love it. All right, let's talk about the rear bumper, because this thing has impressed the heck out of me. It's from J.C. Whitney. It's from carparts.com, and it's only a $350, $400 bumper. Has provisions for lights. It's got D-ring provisions, lights for the license plate, trailer hookups. It's got all your parking reverse sensors and stuff. It has provisions for all of them. It is steel, and this thing is taking a beating. It works in conjunction with the factory rear rock rails, and I mean, for a budget bumper, $350. I've been crazy impressed with this thing. I have no complaints. Now, I might like to switch it out to one that's aluminum just to save some weight, but I mean, you can't beat it. I've been real impressed with it, and it's been on here for a good year and a half now, and it's holding up great. All right, I'm grabbing the camera because I can't get under the Jeep to show you this, but the skid plates from Asphere, they're aluminum, and they are doing amazing. I have no complaints with these skid plates. They are holding up, and my engine is protected. My transfer case is thoroughly protected. The gas tank skid, all the things. It does incredibly well. And getting ready to go to Moab, where, I mean, I'll be using that a lot here in a few weeks when we head to Moab again, and I'm looking forward to that. All right, in these two battery boxes are two 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries from Anti-Gravity. They've been in here for a year and a half or so now, and they continue to perform fantastic. They have Bluetooth built into them. They have an app, so I can constantly check on the state of charge and the inputs and the outputs of it. And they've been running strong. Like I said, they've been running my fridge full time, and I mean, they're fantastic batteries. They are pricey, but they're fantastic. Tucked in there behind them, I don't know how well you can see it, is the Redarc BCDC 1250. It has been at work keeping these batteries charged for over a year and a half now, and everything just works with the electrical system in here. And I mean, really, that's what you want. You want to be able to put the batteries in and put the charger in and just forget about it. And that's pretty much what I can do, because I've had zero hiccups with this system. And it runs all the lights here in the back. It runs all the stuff in my tent. I've got a USB hub up there, so I can charge all my watch, my phone. I can charge my laptop and all that sort of stuff up in the tent. I've got a 2,000 watt Renogy inverter that I've only had for a few months now, but it's working well. But it runs off the batteries, and I've got my Starlink running off that right now, which is connected to the batteries. It really has been a solid system, and so it's pricey, but highly recommend. Now, I do have the Morphlate 10.6 compressor back there. I've only had it for about 6 months, so I don't have a long-term review of that, but it's working really well, and it's super fast in airing up tires. So no complaints, but we'll revisit that later. And then my lighting, those are just little rock lights from MC Tuning from Amazon. They are RGB, so if bugs are a problem, I can change them to amber or red and change their color if I need to. But I've had those up there for almost 2 years, really, since I got the tent. I put the rock lights up there, and they've been doing awesome. They provide great light in here, and it's exactly what you need. Moving to the inside, there's really only two things in here that I've done that I've had for quite a while now. First is the hotheads headliners. Those are legit. Those actually work and keep the sound quieter in here. They keep it a little bit cooler in the summertime. And most importantly, you can put all your patches on them. So highly recommend the hothead headliners. They've never come down. I've never had an issue with them. They've been up there for 2 years now, or almost 2 years. And then the other thing is my radio, which I don't have out here, but tucked up in under here with a hidden install, which I've got a whole video on, is the Midland MXT 575 50 watt Midland GMRS radio. It does awesome. I'm not sure I've had the 575 in here for a year, but I've had Midland radios in there for a year. I started with the MXT 400, then I switched to the 500, and then switched to the 575 so I could hide it up under the steering wheel, and all of them have performed amazing. I can't speak highly enough of Midland's micromobile radios. So I think that's it on the inside for mods that I've had a year. I've got some other things in there that, but I haven't had them a year yet. Oh wait, no, there is one more thing. Let's see if I can get this to see. The JCR Molly panel here that I've got my fire extinguisher mounted to. I've had that from the beginning, and it does its job, which is the most important thing. It doesn't rattle. It keeps my fire extinguisher in place, and I mean that's what you expect out of something like this, is that it stays in place, it doesn't rattle, and it holds what it's supposed to. So yay for the JCR Molly panel here. Well, I think that's it. That of the products that I've had for over a year that have just been doing a fantastic job taking care of me out on the trail, taking care of me at camp. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to, take a look at my Gladiator or my wife's Wrangler in person and ask all the questions, come check us out at the More Expo. It is coming up very, very soon, April 21st and 22nd in Springfield, Missouri. We'll be there. Our Jeeps will be on display. We'll be hanging out, answering questions, meeting people, that sort of thing. And if you want a good look at Sully, my 2021 Gladiator Rubicon that has blown me away and how awesome it is, come check us out. There's a link in the description for the tickets and a coupon code to get you 10% off. So come hang out with us at the More Expo and check out our stuff, ask all your questions, that sort of thing. If you have any questions in the meantime, put them in the comments. I'm going to put links to as much of this stuff as I can, at least to the company's websites, in the description. So if you want to check out any of this stuff, go there. I'll do my best to put as much of them as I can. So if you give the video a like, if you found this to be helpful, subscribe to the channel if you're not. We've got a goal of hitting 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and I know we're going to hit it. So double check that. Make sure you're subscribed. Check out our Patreon if you like what we're doing and you want to consider supporting the channel, get access to special content, special events, all of our GPS data. That link's in the description. And for Ozark Overland Adventures merchandise, go to shopoverlandapparel.com. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.